3, 2, 1, start. Why can't you speak one word in English? Why can't you speak one word in English? Do you ever think about that? There are people among you, sometimes you can't even speak one word in English to people. Do you know why? It's because of something, and that's what we are going to discuss in this video. But I'm not going to reveal that yet. I will reveal that soon. Before that, I would like to share something with you, which is my life story. See, my life story of how I learned to speak English was quite difficult. Why? Because I went through a lot to speak this one language. Why? It's because of something called self judgment. So, what does this mean? Self judgment. Self judgment. Self judgment means it's the act of judging your own English when you speak. For example, when you speak, if you don't focus on what you're speaking and if you focus on, am I doing it correctly? Am I pronouncing the word perpetuously? Oh, am I pronouncing it correctly? Is this the correct pronunciation? Is my grammar correct? Oh, I made a mistake. This is what is called self judging while speaking. So I had this habit of judging my own English because I wanted to speak perfect English. I didn't want to speak any average English. I want to speak perfect English. So I often judged myself when I spoke English. So that, guess what happened? As I made it a habit, this became a habit. And guess what? That led to overthinking. So I started overthinking because of self judgment. So this was like self judgment, but over self judgment. I was overthinking my English. I was overthinking. I was judging myself. I was overthinking. Guess what happened? This became a loop. So when I speak English, I judge myself. And then when I judge myself, I overthink. And then that affects again my English. This was a loop. I spoke English, I judge myself, I overthink, and then that affects my English. Now, this made me someone who can't even speak a word. There was a time in my life, wasn't so long ago. It was like a couple of years ago, not even a couple of years ago. It was like 1 year ago, when there was a time when I was not able to speak one word in English. One word. I was not able to say one word in my mother tongue or in English. Why? It's because of self judgment. And this entire loop is called self consciousness. Self consciousness. This entire loop of process, you speak English, you judge yourself, you overthink, and that affecting your English is what is called self consciousness. I had self consciousness. This self consciousness, this is why you can't even speak one word with someone in English or one word in your mother tongue. This also affected my mother tongue because for very few days I didn't speak anything to anyone because I was so self conscious, because I was afraid that I might sound bad or I might put the wrong grammar, and this led to depression, depression, you know, anxiety, and I felt suffering, intense suffering. I was so depressed. I this See, this depression was one of my life's worst depression. I was so depressed because of one thing, because I judged myself, and this became a loop. I got self-conscious, and that made me someone who can't even speak one single word to someone. So how do you overcome this? I went through this for a long time, and then I was tired, and I was so tired. I was like, I don't really care about my English. I don't really care about how I sound. I don't really care about my pronunciation. I don't really care about if I use the right grammar. All I care about is my message. I want to say something to someone. All I care about is me saying that to that person, and that's all I care about. I don't really care about what I want to say. I don't really care about those kinds of stuff. All I care about is what I want to say to the person. And then that's when I started to focus on my idea, which is the message meaning I started focusing on my idea. When you focus on your idea when you speak, your English will automatically describe it, and you don't have to even speak English consciously. You just have to keep thinking, I'm thinking about this stuff right now. I'm thinking about how you can help yourself to overcome self-consciousness, and I'm thinking about that. And as I'm thinking, my mouth is automatically articulating those words into sounds and vibrations, and that's what it's doing. See, it's so easy to speak when you focus on idea, but the moment you focus on self-judgment, the moment you want to speak English perfectly, the moment you want to sound so clearly, the moment you want to get that perfect pronunciation or grammar, guess what happens? You go into the loop of self judgment and you become self conscious, and this will kill your communication. This will kill you. But if you focus on the idea, speaking becomes so easy. You learn from that. Initially, the first few times I actually changed from becoming like by being self-conscious to actually focusing on my idea when I spoke English. I made a lot of mistakes. I was stumbling. I didn't feel sure. I felt uncomfortable. But couple of days after, a week after, I felt huge improvement. It was like my fluency was boosted 5 times faster. I started speaking so automatically. I started becoming so articulate. I started expressing ideas so naturally. I recorded my video of a video of myself speaking in English after doing applying this, focusing on idea while speaking in English. And then I saw that it was so natural. Before that, my English sounded so artificial, but after applying this idea focusing stuff, my English was so natural. That's when I understood. So if I focus on idea, my English is so easy and it's so nice. That's the solution, guys. If you're someone who can't even speak one word in English, it's because you're judging yourself. Leave that. It'll cause a lot of suffering, depression, and anxiety. What you can do, focus on the idea that you want to express. Focus on communication. It basically means same. Idea, communication, it means same. Focus on idea. Don't focus on how the English. No, focus on what. I want to talk about the project that we have this weekend. I wanted to ask you about how to actually prepare for that, and can you give me some tips, because you're someone who has been doing this for a long time. If you could give me some tips on how to work for this, it would be so helpful. See, this is what I mean. Focus on idea. If you do that, it will be so easy. You'll speak English automatically. And the one exercise that you can do every single day to actually improve this idea of focusing while speaking English is simple. 5 minutes every single day. First, oh, let me write this down. Exercise, the one exercise, 5 minutes every single day. Practice speaking. Sorry if my handwriting is bad. I don't have any support behind the board. Practicing speaking English while focusing on communication. 5 minutes every single day. Choose random topics or random words. Speak on those words, whatever comes to your mind. But the only focus should be, don't focus on English. Don't judge yourself. Focus on communication. Focus on idea. I am going to speak about, yeah, your attention will come to judging yourself. You will automatically start to judge yourself. That is totally normal. But when you realize you're doing, oh my God, I'm judging myself, the moment you're supposed to slowly take your attention away from judging and to your idea. This will happen again. You'll again come to judging yourself. If you come to that, you're supposed to again take your attention back to your idea. And if you keep doing this habit loop will break, and you'll start to focus on idea completely, and your English will be so automatic and fluent. And that's how you overcome not being able to speak one word in English to being someone who can speak fluent and amazing English. And that's how you do it. And thank you for watching this video, if you have watched this until the end. And before leaving, don't forget to subscribe and like. It'll be useful for you and useful for me. And that's it for this video. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. And oh, sorry. Until then, bye bye.